Hello, hello, hello. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you are joining us from today. Welcome. We're excited to have you here. Bear with me just a moment as we get ourselves situated. And I try not to burn down the house. That would be wonderful. Welcome, guys. Welcome. Dana with Sage and Harmony Holistic Coaching here. I am an emotional wellness coach. I specialize in anxiety, but I am also here every Monday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, to do readings. I'm a psychic medium as well. It is wonderful to have you here. Thank you for joining us, wherever you are joining us from. As we do each week, we will start with just a moment we'll have our affirmation meditation. But before we do start, just a little bit of disclaimer. Any information provided on the show today is not meant to treat or diagnose any mental health or health conditions. It is for entertainment and educational purposes only, not meant to treat or diagnose anything, and no legal or health request either. So, and I think I had that in my thing, but just good to reiterate that. Welcome, guys. Please let us know where you are joining us from, what platform you're joining us from, because we are streaming on several different platforms. So please let us know where you are from and what platform you are joining us from. And if it's your first time here, it'd be wonderful to have you. Please let us know. Where am I? What's going on? There we go. All right. So let's go ahead and get started with today's affirmation meditation. Hey, Kit. Hello, my darling. Great to see you. I hope you're doing wonderful. Kit Adams, ladies and gentlemen, who is also a wonderful provider on the Psychic Fixes Network. Please make sure that you are following Psychic Fixes on YouTube as well as on Facebook. There are wonderful providers on here. We have ghost stories and readers and, oh my gosh, so much wonderful talent on here. All right, so let's go ahead and get ourselves settled in for today's affirmation. So as we do, go ahead and just allow yourself to just kind of relax a little bit. Sure, Karishma. Go ahead and just allow yourself to relax just a bit, giving yourself the permission to just allow your shoulders to relax and drop. Go ahead and just close your eyes if you're able to. If you're driving, obviously don't do that. And just allowing yourself to breathe. Just noticing where in your body you might be holding an emotion that needs to be honored and released. Good. And just taking a nice deep breath as our body relaxes, getting ourselves nice and aligned for today's affirmation meditation. And today's affirmation is: I love and honor the parts of me that are still healing. Wow. All right, guys, this is our mantra for this week. I love and honor the parts of me that are still healing. So let's go right hand over our heart, left hand over our tummy. Hey, Kate. I love and honor the parts of me that are still healing. Breathe that in nice and deep. Big exhale out. Hello, ladies. I love and honor the parts of me that are still healing. Say that nice and loud. Good, nice breath in, and just allow that to soak into your body. Good, big exhale out. I love and honor the parts of me that are still healing. One last breath in. Big exhale out. Awesome. All right, this is our mantra for this week. I love and honor the parts of me that are still healing. Make sure that you put that as one of your affirmations this week. And please remember that you can also purchase these cards on my website that is listed below. In addition, if you do a donation, please let me know, so then that way you have priority in the readings. And all donations are a guaranteed reading as well. All right. I've been on back-to-back calls since 4 o'clock, so I'm just getting a little bit of a late start with cleaning of the cards, so bear with me. Alrighty, so who did we have? Garishma, thank you so much for joining us. Where are you joining us from, and on what platform are you joining us from? What part of the world, and on what platform, I guess I should say. Keepers of the light, thank you. Thank you, Miss Helen. Always so kind and sharing. Thank you, thank you. South Africa. Well, thank you so much for joining us from South Africa on Facebook. Appreciate you. I think you might be first time here, at least on this show. So thank you so much for joining us here. Please make sure that you do subscribe to Psychic Fixes and Sage and Harmony so that you can be a part of all of the going-ons. All right, so calling on Ganesha's team and Ganesha's team to come through for their highest goodness. Well, welcome. Thank you so much for joining us, then. We appreciate you. Lovely. All right, let me move this closer to the window. All right. So your first, so let me just back up a little bit. Karishma, the deck that we're working with for you is the Keepers of the Light deck, which is a beautiful eclectic deck with light workers from all cultures and belief systems in here. So I really love working with this deck. Your first card is Saint Germain Karma Releasing. Move beyond drama, create your own path, make room for good energy. So there's that. Your second card is Lord Shiva, Transcendence, Rise Above, Honor Your Inner Force, Steps Are Being Given, Dance with the Universe. And so I'll read the cards first, and then I'll get into the reading itself. And then your last is Kalima, Facing Fear. Major spiritual changes are unfolding. This is your chance to soar. And it's almost reading like a book, like a story, isn't it? I mean, just going from the karma, releasing transcendence, and then facing fear. Moving beyond drama, create your own path, making room for energy, honoring your force. You know, the steps are really there, being given and given to you, and then also facing the fear. It's literally reading out as a story. I mean, it doesn't, you don't see this very often. Usually you just kind of have to listen for the messages, but this is pretty self-explanatory. Then moving beyond the drama, one of the things that I really want to stress to you is not to get caught up in and attaching ourselves to the challenges that come through when we're facing drama, challenges in our life. I mean, just that's something that happens, but not so much getting ourselves attached to it, which is really that make room for good energy, allowing things to come and allowing things to go, allowing those not just for things to come and go, but really focusing on the energy part of it. The reason that we want to do this is because we want to attract more good things. Like attracts like. It's science. It's not religion based, but that's just basic law of attraction. So as like attracts like, and you're doing that, you're actually feeling also more confident, because the more that you attract the things that you want, the more confidence that you start building. It's like, okay, well, this is great. I'm building the things, and I'm getting the things that really make me feel good. When you get things that make you feel good, you're in a different space. You're working on a higher vibrational frequency. Honor your inner force, steps are being taken, dance with the universe. that universal dance is just that. It's all about exchange of energy. Everything is an exchange of energy. You and I are having an exchange of energy right now. And then as we're having this exchange of energy, one of the things that we're doing is I'm providing information and guidance for you, just information. And then you receive it and it makes you feel good. I hope it makes you feel good. And then we just kind of keep going from there. And then I move on to the next person. But everything that we do, every person that we interact with, that's an exchange of energy. So when you find yourself exchanging energy with people that do not, that aren't raising your frequency and aren't bringing you up, I really kind of want you to pay attention to that and inventory to that, because those are going to be the people that are going to hold you back. My mother used to call them crabs in a barrel. When you see a crab trying to crawl out and the other ones are there just pulling them back, it's the same type of concept. So when you start making moves in your life, pay attention to who's happy for you and pay attention to who's not happy for you. Because the ones that are not clapping when you're succeeding, those are the ones that you need to look out for, if that makes sense. That major spiritual changes are unfolding. I really love the fact that it's kind of like facing the fear. Let me ask you, I kind of feel like that's more of an intuition, sometimes second guessing that intuition. Are you struggling with that? Hi, Diana. Aw, wonderful. Oh, you did. Congratulations. So do you, Karishma, if I said that properly, I hope I did. Please be gentle with me. I do have a history of torturing names. But do you struggle with second guessing yourself, like, or at least your intuition needing to, yeah. So that's kind of this facing the fear part of it, the spiritual changes. The more confidence you give into your intuition, the more power you give to your intuition, because that's your spiritual side. Sometimes it's your team talking to you, and your team is basically giving you the information and the guidance that you need in order to continue. But the more you second guess yourself, what ends up happening is that you're feeding fear and you're feeding doubt. So pay attention to what you're feeding. And that's going to basically be your summary of your reading, is pay attention to what you're feeding. Pay attention to what you're feeding, good energy, bad energy, right? Pay attention to what you're feeding fear or feeding confidence and feeding power. So speaking life and speaking love to yourself in situations. But when that intuition comes in, and I want you to be, one of the things that I get a lot is, what's the difference between my intuition and my anxiety, right? Because it kind of feels the same. Well, the anxiety is in here. The anxiety is mind-based, right? And your intuition is your gut. And the anxiety is fear-based. It's always going to give you the worst case scenario. However, it gives you the worst case scenario because it wants to protect you from feeling and going through situations that you already have. And that gut feeling that you have, that you get, because that's where our intuition is, like our gut, it's heart center. But I mean, sometimes we feel it in our gut. And even sometimes we do feel it in our spirit, in our chest, right? We can actually feel those things in there. That's really where that intuition comes in, and you're building on that. So the more that you feed that and you give that power, is a stronger, it's like building a muscle, the same thing, building emotional muscle, building physical muscle. The more you use it, the more you trust it, the stronger it's going to get. So continue to just, feed into that and work that intuition muscle. It will get stronger with time, and you'll start to trust that and really start releasing that fear, if that makes sense. But really, I mean, this is really wonderful reading for you, Miss Grishma. Thank you so much for being here, for joining us. Thank you. It was an honor being able to read for you. Bear with me. Diana, what a wonderful surprise. You're so welcome, my dear. Thank you for joining us. Please make sure that you tell your friends and share the show and subscribe, do all the things that we do. Do all those things. Diana, thank you so much for being here. I'm so excited. You had your interview today. Yay, that's wonderful. Oh, I felt good. I'm glad. You did a lot. You put in a lot of work this last week, ma'am. All right, let's see what the cards have for you. Aw, look at you. Just woke up just in time. All right, guys. Please make sure if you, for anybody just joining, if you do a donation, please comment it in the comments. That way I can, donations are guaranteed readings. Yes. I can't say that I love this any more than I actually. Okay, so I'm really excited about this. Clear Cancel Release is your first card. We're working with the Archangel deck. Sorry, excuse me. So Clear Cancel Release is your first card. Your second is Mother, Father, God. And your third is Courage and Bravery. And again, this is really the same way that we had with the first reading. It's like it's reading out like a story, like a whole page. It's kind of how I'm seeing it. You know, you and I talked after the show last week, and there was so much that you were going through. And we talked about releasing, right? We talked about being able to move beyond the things that were going on. I didn't pick it. I'm just a messenger, ma'am. They picked it. They tell me which card deck to use, and I do it. So to say that, I just kind of to build on that, I just want to say that, you know, in order for you to receive the blessings, well, us, right? In order for us to receive the blessings that we're supposed to have, because there's so much out there for us, and there's an abundance, you know, of things for us, money and love and you know, food and relationships and all of the things that we want. I mean, the world is massive, right? I mean, just think about who's on the call today. We have people from all corners of the world. So the world is massive. And here we are gathering right now, us together in this moment. And that just goes to show how massive the world is and how tiny it could be at the same time, right? But I say that to say is that there's so much out there that even bigger than what we realize. Because as I sit here in one little, you know, one small town in Georgia, there are people from South Africa and from, you know, Scotland and other parts of the US that are here, and we're here together. I say that because it's all of thinking outside of the box. It's all seeing your perspective, letting go of the things that aren't serving you, because there's an entire world out there waiting for you, and a world that needs you. Remember, we're not here just to find a job, pay bills, and then die. That's not why we're here. That's not our job. Our job is to come here, have experiences, learn, be an influence to someone else. You know, be a testimony, be a lighthouse for someone else. Whatever our mission is, right? So me, I'm a messenger. So I'm a messenger. I'm here to provide that. I know that. I knew that very early on, and it worked in just different capacities. But in order for you, for me, for us to be able to serve the way that we need to, it's important that we release along the way. Does that make sense? So, you know, having your hands full of all this pain and all this trauma and all the things that go on, I mean, it's really, you know, it's familiar, right? It's a familiar pain, and we know how to navigate through familiar pains, but it doesn't serve us anymore. We're supposed to, I always tell you guys, we're supposed to have the pain, have the experience, and then move on, because suffering is not what we're supposed to be doing. We're not supposed to get stuck in suffering, right? Sometimes there's pain and growth, and that pain and growth is because, you know, we're moving on to the next level. You got information from that pain. You got wisdom from that pain. You got experience, right? As you're becoming this warrior, you're moving things now, but you also have to let go. And the same way that you are receiving, you have to be able to let go. I'll get to that in just a moment. Mother, Father, God. This is, we talked a little bit last week, but I really want to express to you even more about your divine connection and being able to lean and rely on that the way that you are truly meant to, because the information, the guidance, the wisdom, the strength, the support, it's all there. It's the same thing that I was saying in that first card, right? It's all there for you. It's giving yourself permission to lean. I really want to impress upon you that it's not just being able to have the strength to get through it by myself, right? That's that survivor mentality of, I have to be strong enough to do this myself. Excuse my French, but BS, no the fuck you don't. You don't need to have to get through everything by yourself. That's another thing that we're not meant here to do. We're not put here to do. We're here to have an interdependent relationship with others, with our team, right? With God, with the divine creator. So as we're doing this, we're learning how to trust. We're learning how to have faith. We're building hope. There is a beauty in interdependence, right? But what happens is that when you are a survivor of trauma of any kind, where we get stuck in that survivor mode, and we think that, okay, well, I'm good. I'm not in victim mode anymore. I'm in survivor mode, so I'm good, right? But it's moving out of survivor mode into thriver mode, where you begin to have that trust and know that I have guidance, I have support. And that's why I really want to impress upon you to really connect with the divine and to source energy, and just be able to say, okay, blindly. And I do say that with confidence, because I can't tell you how many times I've been thrown off a cliff and I had to free fall and just trust that I was going to be okay. And like literally waking up one morning, quitting my corporate job and doing this full time. Like that, you can't get any more free fall than that. That's exactly what happened to me in January of 2020, right before the pandemic hit. Great timing, right? So free falling, but knowing that you're able to spread your wings, because they are never going to let you fall. You're never going to hit the ground. You're never going to hit the ground. They'll never do that. You may get close to it. It may feel like it. You'll have some butt clenching moments, but they'll never let you hit the ground. And here's why. Because when you are serving your mission, when you are serving your purpose, you cannot fail when you are serving your purpose. It's not, and I don't know how to explain it in any other way than it's just not made that way. It's not, the process doesn't work that way. You're going to have experiences where it feels like, okay, this is failing. But remember what I always talk about with failure. With failure is feedback. So what worked, what didn't work, go back, rework it a little bit, and then keep going. But you only fail when you stop trying. That's the only time you fail. You fail when you stop trying. So it's important to take failure, go back in and say, okay, but, and like I always say, your approach should be flexible. Your goal should be strong, right? It should be set in stone, essentially. But your goals should be. Now, you asked, hold on, I gotta move up to your, is this the perfect job for me? Keep looking. Yes. Familiar pain. Definitely. I'm moving the energy, make space for new good. Perfect message for me. I told the manager today, I'm trying to trust more, especially asking for help from coworkers. I felt refreshing to say that. Good. Knowledge that, okay, you cannot fail if you're serving your purpose. Yeah, you absolutely cannot. And so I'm going to kind of jump back to one of your questions was, if not sure, keep the perfect job. But I want, hang on a second. I'm trying to think of how to express this. It doesn't matter what job you have. If you know your purpose, it's not going to make a difference what job you have. And what I mean by that is, so I'll give you an example. For me, being a messenger, I mean, I'm a psychic medium, but I also do coaching. Before I did coaching, I was in the medical field for 24 years, and I was doing like physician education, and I was doing training, and I was a practice manager. I was always training and giving people and helping people. So my natural gift to help people was always being served. Like I was always doing that. I was a caretaker, took care of my grandmother for 8 years after my mother passed away. I had children. I was a wife. I did all the things, right? So I don't want you, I say that to say, because I don't want you to get caught up in the label part of it as much as the mission part. It's two very, very different things. Does that make sense? Two very, very different things. It doesn't matter what label you wear. I don't care about the car you take to get to the destination. The destination is the destination. The destination is your mission, right? So when you figure out what you're supposed to do, and if you're not sure, ask. They'll tell you. Ask. You may not get the answer straight away, but ask. They'll tell you. So detach yourself from the label. Oh, I'm supposed to be a nurse. Oh, I'm supposed to be a doctor. Oh, I'm supposed to be this. Oh, I'm supposed to. No. What do you feel good doing? When are you in flow? Because when you're in flow, that's what you should be doing. What are you talking about when you're in that? And you know a flow state. Everybody on this call knows a flow state. Say yes if you do. You can recognize a flow state when you're talking about something and it's just coming. You may have had, you may have done a complete presentation for word, but when you get into that state where you don't even need to look at the presentation, you look at something, you're like, boom, we're on it. Boom, 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 talking, I got it. You're connected. You have this, you're in that in the moment. That is what you're supposed to be doing. Does that make sense? So it could be, taking care of somebody. It could be being a messenger. It could be whatever it is, but it doesn't matter what label you have when you're doing it. It's the actual end result, which is I served my purpose, and it felt great doing it. I made a difference in somebody's life today, and it felt amazing. That's what it's about. Okay, now with that, bear with me 1 second, guys. I don't know why. I think I should remember to close that blind whenever we get on, because it always happens, and I have to shut that shade. Now, with all of that comes courage and bravery, because this is going to require a different part of you that needs to be courageous and brave. Okay, that letting go of the familiar, that letting go of the pain, letting go of the suffering, allowing yourself to trust and receive, to give and to take. It has to all come in balance. You can't just do all of one. I know that you love helping people, but it's that what is it? You can't pour from an empty glass type thing. You have to take care of you in order to make sure that you serve effectively the way that you're supposed to. So when you're in the state of healing, and as you're going through it, and literally just taking inventory, and that's okay to do, take inventory of what you're supposed of who's around you and what feels good, what doesn't feel good, the activities, the people that you're with, coworkers, friends, family, whatever. And when you start doing that and you start realizing what feels good and what doesn't, and who feels good and who doesn't, you're like, I probably should be cutting ties with this and just kind of moving yourself away. It's you're building and you're feeding back into yourself. But it's important that you take care of you, because nobody can give what you give. Your energy, you can only give your energy. I can only give my energy. I can't give somebody else's energy. We have some amazing other practitioners on the call here. I can't give you Kit's energy, and Kit is amazing. I can give you Dana's energy, and hopefully I'm good at that. I say that, humbly, because I'm just here to be able to give the information. You know what I mean? But your message has to come from you. But you have to take care of you, which means, getting your rest and eating. And, I have to give you all that love, Kit. I love you so much. You have no idea what an influence you've been on me. But being able to really, again, getting rest, being in environments that are toxic and knowing that those environments are toxic and having the strength and the courage to get out of those environments. Not feeling like you need to be in an environment because you're used to being in the environment. You know what I mean? So, there's going to be a lot of courage and bravery that really needs to show up for yourself. But the only person that can do that is for you. Now, I say that it's giving yourself, what's on the other side of that? It's peace and it's freedom. It really is. It's peace and it's freedom. And it's love and it's security. But you have to be willing to release and let go. And I even feel like, I kind of feel like the whole phoenix, like burning down and then just kind of, raising yourself up from the ashes and just going, like, I always kind of feel like that's how it is. Just like, okay, I'm ready to just burn out and I'm done. And this is what it is. Now I'm reborn. And this is how I'm reborn. I am when I'm reborn. And each time you are reborn stronger because you're not ever starting from zero, ever. And even in your next life, you're not starting from zero. Your spiritual DNA is going to carry on, which is another reason that this is also important, because the things that you can clear and heal now don't need to go in with you to the next lifetime. It doesn't. The soul contracts that you have, hi Lynn, the soul contracts that you have made in this lifetime can be fulfilled and don't need to be created now into the next lifetime. I don't need to follow you there. Does that make sense? So you can actually clear all those out now. And I'm thirsty. I was so long. I'm sorry, but you know me. I'm long-winded. Sorry. Sorry, not sorry. All right, my dear. Please let me know how the job interview goes. You can DM me, whatever it is, however it is you want to get in touch with me. But clear, cancel, release, Mother, Father, God, and courage and bravery. Where are these cards? Here. Whew. Yes. Kit, as I was saying, you have been an absolute amazing, beautiful spirit and light in my life. I appreciate you more than you will ever know. Miss Debbie! Hi, Miss Debbie! Yay! Ladies and gentlemen, the amazing Miss Debbie Duncan. The reason I am here. Oh, Lord. Here we go. All right, we got to clean up some of this. Oh, I thank you so much. I appreciate you. Let me see. They showed up a little later in the show this time. Last week, they were showing up almost from the beginning of the show, the spammers. Persistent little things too, aren't they? All righty. Thank you for sharing, Lynn. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. There we go. That's my OCD needing to get rid of those. Aw. Thank you so much. Diana, you are amazing. You are light, and it is my hope that you can see your own light also. and continue to share that light with those around you who need you. Ma'am. There we go. All right. I just want to make sure. All right. Did I miss anyone? Was anybody else? Anybody else would like a reading? I will hydrate in the meantime. I'm running low, so I have to sip slowly. I've been on back-to-back Zooms since 4 o'clock. So I'm like running out of hydration fluid. Running out of hydration fluid. Got you. Yes. Thank you. Well. All right, Miss Helen, for you, Witch's deck. Aw, thank you. All right. So, I wasn't planning on using this. Hey, DJ, of course, welcome. Yeah, I have some days that are just like that. It's okay. It is all good. All right. Thank you so much, guys. You're so wonderful. I love being here, sharing space with you guys. Balance. Yep. Thank you. Is there anything else that she needs to know, please? Thank you. You know, as I know you've been following me for a while, the Witch's deck has kind of morphed into a kind of like a self-care deck. And as I was shuffling, one of the things that I kept hearing was be selfish with you, like be selfish, self-care. And really what's interesting is that your first card is the balance card. Oh, where are we? There we go. Good night, Miss Kate. Thank you for joining us, my dear. Your second card is the Celestial card. And then your last card is Success. Where am I? Sorry. I'm bad with. Isn't the Witch's deck beautiful? The balance of, you know, being able to not just, you know, give yourself and handle business, but also take care and really, like I said, just be selfish right now in this time of, you know, your transition and your healing and everything that's going through. That celestial part, really connecting with your higher power, giving yourself permission to just be as magical as you can and have fun with it. You know, being that self-care that we take, it's not just, you know, drinking teas and, you know, the bubble baths and all that, although I am all for that. I also say that it's also that, you know, the connecting with our magical self and being able to just have fun and play and laugh and just be lighthearted. Because the more that we are and the more that we're in that state, you know, that fun, that beautiful, that light time that we have, you know, we're able to just really clearly being able to focus on the things that need attention. So when the hard times do come up, that's where that balance begins, right? It's being able to handle all things. You know, that's kind of that emotional mastery that really happens. It's being able to move from state to state. And I say that in an emotional sense, from anger, sadness, you know, happy, fear, whatever it is, being able to just, you know, flow with it. And just feel that I have the confidence I'm going to be okay. That success, again, it's the end result of it all, isn't it? You know, when you are in that state of happiness and just play and that love, you're able to successfully bring those things in, everything that you're wanting, because Now, again, we talked about vibrational frequency. You're bringing all those things in on that same state. Does that make sense? So just make sure that you're keeping yourself nice and balanced. Again, the words that just kept ringing in my ear were selfish self-care. Like, be selfish with yourself, and be selfish, needing and taking that self-care time for you, because it all balances the way it's supposed to. But when it does, it does bring success for you. And of course, success isn't just monetary. It's in relationships. It's the way we connect with people. It's also the way we serve, right? So success has a lot of different forms, giving yourself the permission to do so. So that is your reading, my dear. Thank you so much. I know it is hard, isn't it? But make yourself a priority. The way that we make other people a priority, or the way that we create space for other people when we make doctor's appointments for others, and you have to put yourself on the calendar the same way and hold it as a priority the same way. You have to. That's the only way to do it. Like, for me, Sundays are soul care Sundays. That's what I call them, soul care Sundays. Like yesterday, I was painting in the morning. We were doing a bunch of work on the deck, but by the evening, when everything was done, I had my hair mask in. My hair came out beautiful. Today was a beautiful hair day. But I had my face mask on. I soaked in the tub for a little bit. It was great. But it's that balance. It's not just all or nothing. It's not just all one thing and then not of the other. So you have to make yourself a priority. I couldn't be here doing this if I don't take care of myself. Like, I would be worn out. I talk to so many people each day that I wouldn't have the opportunity. My cup would always be empty. So in order for me to be able to fill and to continue to serve, it's important that I take care of myself. And that's also a mindset, like deprogramming yourself. Thank you, motorcycle. Deprogramming yourself from that also as well. So that is that. I'm gonna just open this just a little bit because it's getting a little bit of dark moments. I hope that's okay. And now the lighting is weird in here. I'm trying to get it right. I apologize. Okay, thank you. I did see people coming in. I did see a donation come through. So if you did do a donation, please share that in the comments. So then that way you get priority. Thank you. I tell you, hair mask is everything. DJ, got you. And this motorcycle is just insisting on driving by every 10 seconds. Thank you. DJ, thank you so much for your donation. I appreciate you. So I look up and it's 11 viewers and I have 11 hearts and likes. I'll give you one of my recipes for hair mask offline, or maybe at the end if somebody wants it. If somebody's interested, I'll give you guys recipe for hair mask. Big cards. Okay, your first card, DJ, is Holy Love. This is calling from the Archangel deck, Holy Love. Your second card is Joy and Contentment. And your third card is Forgiveness and Understanding. All right, so we have hair mask recipes coming in at the end. Stay tuned, guys. I do it every Sunday. I'm telling you, it works like a charm. It's great. And it's great, just it's love time. Okay, DJ, so back to you, my dear. One of the things that I always kind of like to press upon is a couple of things. Just kind of noticing that beautiful rose in the heart center, but also the infinity sign and the angel and the wings and the beautiful crown, glowing crown. The joy and contentment as the middle card between the forgiveness and understanding and holy love is it. Like that is what's achievable. That's what that's what we reach, that joy and contentment, that peace, that liberation, that freedom, once we allow that forgiveness and understanding. Now, I say that to say that forgiveness and I understand that is very difficult, especially if we are attempting to forgive ourselves. There's guilt and shame that's attached to that sometimes. And that's really, really a difficult conversation to have. But that holy love it's something that we can lean on, because we struggle with forgiving ourselves and that guilt and that shame a lot of times because of lack of self-love and self-worth and all of those things. Now, when we are struggling to forgive others because we are wanting to hold them responsible for whatever, and just the pain that comes with it, the attachment that comes with it. So remember that traumas is equally as bonding as love, right? And a lot of times we don't forgive because we think that if we forgive somebody, we are letting them off the hook, per se, right? But the reality is that was a lesson that was supposed to happen to us, as difficult as it is. And I say that respectfully. I say that, as many of you guys know, I'm a domestic violence survivor. I'm a rape survivor. I'm a homelessness survivor. I've been through some things, but I had to forgive. And it wasn't for them. It was for me. It was for me because I have so many people. I realized that there was that pain was attached to anger. It was attached to resentment. It was attached to rage. There was so many not great feelings that was attached to that. And it didn't feel good. And I didn't like what was happening to me physically, because it affects your physical body, but also mentally, emotionally, spiritually. It affects everything. That's just how it is. It's going to do that. So I say that to say that allowing that place of forgiveness to come in, so that way you, my dear, can receive that joy and contentment, because it's there. It's waiting for you. The same way I told Diana, it's everything that you want is waiting there for you. It's right there. It's us being able to have the courage and the bravery to just take a couple of steps and to work through it. You need that additional support? Call on your divine, call on your team. How do I do this? What do I need to do? Please give me the information. Please give me the message. Please give me the guidance, the strength, so that I can go through it. What do I need to do? And just listen and, meditate and allow the answers to come in. But I say all that to say is that the time for suffering, you don't need to do that anymore. You don't. You did it. You got the lesson. You got it. Now, what are you going to do with it? You're either going to keep replaying it, you're going to keep recycling it, you're going to continue the pattern. And like I said to Diana, whatever you don't heal in this lifetime is going to follow you into the next. So be really conscious about that. Like how much are you wanting to bring into the next lifetime for yourself? So be conscious of that and know that. But again, that rose in the heart center, and just see the peace that she's feeling right now. That is what's there waiting for you, my dear. Giving yourself the opportunity to forgive. Forgiveness, it's a process. It's not going to happen overnight. Sometimes it takes time. That is okay. Give yourself grace, give yourself compassion, and give yourself love. But those days, where are you? Those days that you're struggling, giving yourself love, call on your divine. You are so welcome, my dear. Thank you so much. I appreciate your donation. I appreciate you being here and supporting. Thank you so much. Let's see. I think we have time for one more. And then we'll get into our hand mask. Stephanie, are you still here, my dear? Alrighty. Hello, Stephanie. How are you? Thank you for being here. Okay. Never mind. Switching decks, apparently. What I thought was the Keepers of the Light deck. They said no, Witch's deck. Okay. So again, the Witch's deck basically just focuses on self-care and what, it's like I said, it's kind of morphed into a self-care deck, but just what you need to pay attention to in the upcoming weeks as far as your love for yourself and what you need to, I literally, these cards just fell out all at once in this order. So your first card is Blossom. I love this deck so much. Your second card is Faith. And your last card is Meditate. Thank you. I really want to start with this card, the Blossom card, because the message that just came through was just the growth. And I kind of want you to notice the little girl and the woman. That's kind of what I'm, the growth that I am seeing and the healing. Now, that Faith card comes right next to that. You know, that connection with childlike Stephanie, you know, when you were your younger self, that love, going back into your younger years where you needed something. You just needed reassurance. You needed some guidance. You needed that love. Even if it wasn't anything very traumatic, just going back and understanding that, you know, let her know she's okay. Let her know that you are okay now, because she's still in there. She's still in there, like crying, like, I'm here, like, you know, I'm protecting you. I'm letting you know all the things that you need to look out for. And, you know, that faith, let her know that she just needs to continue to have faith. Let her know that she just don't give up hope. Everything is going to work out, because it will. How do you connect with her? Just visualize her in front of you. And actually, God, the same way that this card is showing, just see her right next to you, holding your hands, sit next to her, you know, kneel in front of her, and just put out your hand and hold her hand. You know, give her that space, so then that way she can just let her be heard. Let her talk and let her be heard, and then just hug her. That faith, not just in the process, but faith in healing, faith in love, faith in peace, faith in hope, right? Faith in growth, but mostly that faith in healing. Just continue to hold on to that. This meditation card, I will invite you to meditate and visualize yourself already healed. Visualize yourself, or at least some parts of that, already being in gratitude for receiving it already. Does that make sense? Like, when you meditate, just kind of see yourself like feeling good and looking good and doing all those things that worked because you put in the work. Now, why is that important? Because the more that you see that in here, the more it's going to mirror in your outside life. Do you know what I mean? So you want it to start here first, because the unconscious mind needs proof of life that things actually exist. The only way that we can make that actually happen is that if we visualize it ourselves. So see yourself happy and dancing and seeing you and her in the field, just kind of like playing together and, just like being silly and being playful and being childlike and being safe. Just be safe with her and give her that love. And see yourself feeling loved, and see yourself even in present time and in the future, what that looks like and how that feels, and connect to that feeling. And do that, even if you do that for 30 seconds a day, 30 seconds a day minimum. Connect with that feeling of love and peace. That is your reading. I did not expect that to be as emotional as it was. Almost had me in tears. I was pretty close. Because there was a lot of emotion on that. But so I hope that resonated with you. It sounded like it did. Guys, please make sure, you're so welcome, my dear. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. Many blessings. Guys, please make sure that you can also schedule your personal reading on my website. It's right there, www.snhcoaching.com. You can also remember our affirmation for the week is, I love and honor the parts of me that are still healing. You can buy these affirmation cards on my website. I love and honor the parts of me that are still healing. That is your affirmation for this week. Join me next week, same bat time, same bat station, Mondays, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and whatever that looks like at your time zone. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. We love you. Please make sure that you are following Psychic Fixes. Subscribe, follow on YouTube as well as Facebook, so you can get all the updates, latest and greatest on what all of these wonderful practitioners are doing. Follow me on Facebook also, Sage and Harmony Holistic Coaching. And I just got a chock full of stuff. If it's not readings, we do coaching, we do it all. Right now, we're gonna do a hair mask. Quick story: I used to have an actual hair and beauty line. It was Vida del Sol. I had that for like 5 years. I loved doing it. So, quick hair mask. You use jojoba oil, coconut oil, and castor oil, especially if you are having issues with your hair growth. You definitely want to use castor oil. The essential oils that you want to use are, if you're having problems with hair growth, you want to use rosemary essential oil and peppermint and tea tree essential oil. Why? Because those help to stimulate the dormant hair follicles. Clay. I am a huge fan of clay. So you can use those. You can put a couple of tablespoons in, but clay is one of the definite things that you want to use. French green clay is great. Red Moroccan clay is great also. And bentonite clay. Now, if you're going to use bentonite clay, use a Pyrex bowl and a wooden spoon, because it actually pulls out toxins, and it will pull out toxins from a metal spoon as well. So don't use metal spoon. Don't use anything metal when you're working with bentonite clay. Don't do that. So basically what you want to do is you want to get your clay in and your ingredients, put that in the bowl, mix it up. You kind of want to make it paste-like. And then just depending upon what you're trying to have more attention to. So if you're wanting to stimulate the roots, obviously you're going to start here and really just kind of work it in and just obviously put your hair in 4 parts and then just apply from root to tip, especially if you have issues with dead ends and things like that. You definitely want to make sure that those healthy oils get on there, the coconut as well as the castor oil. Definitely want to use the castor oil on the roots also. Argan oil is really great. You can put a couple of drops of argan oil in. I literally will put my mask on and leave it on. I don't know. Honestly, the longest I've left it in is like 2-3 hours. I just kind of put it in and go. and then eventually I wash it out. You wash it out, shampoo and conditioner. And that's pretty much it. But you can do different renditions of the hair mask. Again, some of my favorites, 3 favorites that I have are the bentonite clay. So that's the one you're not going to use any metal with. French green clay and red Moroccan clay. All of these, good. Yeah, that's it. Good on the beach. Yeah, because it's that heat gets in it and it really works. It's wonderful. Red Moroccan clay, and then obviously all of the oils that you want to use. So either, you can use a combination. I use a combination. I put coconut, jojoba, and castor oil in there, and I just make a paste. And then obviously whatever essential oils smell good. But I like to, I was having some issues with hair loss for a while because I was overusing the hair straightener. I got yelled at, my beauty. my hairstylist yelled at me. So I was using so I don't do that anymore. Lesson learned. So I say that to say, don't use a hair straightener because it's really bad for your hair. My hairstylist yelled at me. I won't do it again. Put it on, wrap it in some foil, and not foil, that plastic wrap or a shower cap. Just put it in, go about your life. Wonderful. Thank me next week. Let me know how it goes for you. And it's a lot of fun. You can get all of those on Amazon or, your local. Actually, if you go to your local apothecary, they have all of those also. I get mine at my local apothecary. So have fun. Take care of you. Hair mask, face mask. If you want a face mask, let me know. We'll do a face mask next week. Happy to share that with you guys. All righty. I will see you guys next week. Same bat time, same bat station. Thank you for being here. Remember to like and follow all of the things, Psychic Fixes, Sage and Harmony on both Facebook and YouTube. And thank you so much. See you guys next week. Blessed be.